This is quite a forest. I think in the monsoon the water flows down here. Anyway, one thing about these forests, people have an idealized view of what is a forest and what happens there and all that. What they see from this Instagram and all this social media makes it look very kind of inviting and all. But in reality, it is far outside the comfort zone of most city people. Particularly apartment dwellers are most unprepared for these places. So, if we talk about comfort zones, these apartment people are the first ones who will die off if there is a they are left in the place like this. Even a single night they will not be able to survive. They don't know how to make a fire. They don't know how to climb trees. Then they lack all the skills. Moreover, their sensory system itself is unprepared to deal with the kind of inputs what you get here and what you need to survive. So, talking of comfort zones, this forest represents the completely unknown and unpredictable. Here, danger can come at any second, so you have to be all the time alert. And if you are among tall trees like this, then it can come from any direction. Some snake can fall from your head. All kind of things can go wrong if you don't know how to read the signs, because nature is continuously giving signs to us. If there is some big predator comes, some warning calls will come from monkeys or birds. So if you have been trained to deal with that kind of location, you can make out the warning signals. Otherwise, blissfully people will walk into danger. Then the second most unprepared are the people who live in their own houses in cities. And the third most unprepared ones are the ones who live in borders of cities. At least these border people, they see a little bit of wildness and like the apparent disorder. The order that is imposed in the city starts breaking down at that border of the city, including plants and everything starts changing. Then the next category is those people who are living in farms outside the city. For them, that farm represents some degree of order is there. It's not completely apparent chaos like a forest, but just outside the border zone of the farm and all, some neglected places are there. So little bit they'll be familiar what happens outside their farm. And then more prepared than this farm category are the people who live at the edge of forests. They interact with wild animals and all regularly. So They know that what is a boar look like, what is elephant type, whatever the local stuff, flora and all, flora and fauna. And the people who are completely at home here are these tribals and all who live inside. They're embedded in these systems, and they grow up amidst all these creatures and that apparent disorder. For example, there you can see there's a disorder, apparent disorder, though it's not really disorder. There's a natural order there. So the city people and all can't make out anything there. Bird calls, scorpion bites, what to do, nothing is known. So these forest people, they're normally they're considered as uneducated. But if you ask them, if the city people are uneducated, we'll be laughing stock when we go there because we know nothing. So, and the knowledge that these so-called uneducated people who didn't go to college, they have, what they possess is the lived experience of being immersed in a forest and its seasons and all such things. Hundreds of natural cycles are going on in those forests, different species, insects and all that. So the knowledge that these people have is lost as soon as they start going to schools and colleges, because in the schools and colleges they treat all this knowledge as kind of waste. Then also in no book, in the books you will never get this stuff. So never go into forest if you don't know some local to take you around. Even me myself, with all my vast experience, one thing I learnt is that I don't know anything. Once you realize you know nothing, then you're open to learning new things. And then once you realize that you know nothing, all your ego is set aside. So you're ready to learn from people. Maybe they're shabbily dressed or they don't have a big car and all, but they have the knowledge required to survive in this kind of place, the life skills needed. So the comfort zones, to sum it up now, the forest people who know how to live in the forest, for them the forest itself is a comfort zone. They see some wild fruit and all, they know what to eat, what not to eat and all that. So if you want to understand the forest and its working and its laws and its nature and its seasons, then you have to necessarily go and hang out with people who live in those places, and then in a very humble way you'll have to approach them. If you show off your city knowledge and all, they'll just not open their mouth, that's all. So people who are only used to talking tish posh English, know nothing about species, interactions, they are all they should never venture into forest, point blank. That's my advice. And then they better realize that they know nothing. The second you think you know something, you know everything, you're done. It confirms that you know nothing. So there's a paradox there in that. The minute you know that you don't know, you're wise. And the minute you think that you know everything, that confirms that you're stupid. So the hallmark of a fool is that they don't know they are foolish. They think they are smart. So in a nutshell, the smart people who think they are smart are stupid. The people who think they are stupid are smart.